Governance issues with Cricket West Indies discussed at a regional conference in Trinidad and Tobago. Police investigate the death of a St. Philip man. Workers at the Barbados National Oil Company Limited back on the job after strike action today. And in sports, West Indies opener John Campbell could be back in action by year-end.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening, I'm Pearson Bowen. Prime Minister Mia Motley says the governance structure of Cricket West Indies must be addressed if the sport is to be developed in the region. This is necessary as she says there's too much blurring across the current structure, too much conflict and room for its continuation. Ms. Motley was among regional leaders addressing the opening of the CARICOM Regional Cricket Conference Reinvigorating West Indies Cricket being held in Trinidad and Tobago.
You can't have big men who have inspired us from little children asking over and over to be involved in a credible and structured way. And administration after administration after administration ignores them as if it is their right to humiliate our icons and heroes. It cannot happen. And you have the ability now to change it. Don't tell me that governance is on the table. Tell me that governance is going to be your first priority to resolve. And that if you have to go island by island, by country and do it, then you will do it and you'll have our support to do it. But this notion that it will go to the next administration, because that's what happens when you leave it on the table.
Meanwhile, President of Cricket West Indies, Dr. Kishore Shallow, has identified some of the issues hindering the implementation of the recommendations from the Webby Governance Report. Recently, 3 boards rejected some of the recommendations tabled at the latest CWI annual general meeting. In the report submitted by Senator Don Webby in July 2020, recommendations were made to downsize the board of directors from 18 to 12, a reduction of the board committees from 12 to 5, and a redefining of the roles of president and vice president. Several territorial boards objected. Dr. Shallow, when pressed about the challenges, didn't hold back.
One, ignorance, and that is why I alluded earlier to education and sensitizing the stakeholders who are the policymakers of Cricket West Indies. Insecurity, believing that evolve and improve governance would mean, replacement of some persons or diminishing power of the board, and just resistance to change, right? And that is not a unique situation to Cricket West Indies by any means. We are people who often resist change, but I certainly don't believe that we can't overcome that with more education and more sensitization, of the greater good that could come out of improved governance.
Well, we'll have more stories from the ongoing regional conference on cricket later in sports. The police are looking for clues after the discovery of a body at Marley Vale, St. Philip last evening. Wendy Burt tells us police are asking the public for information as they carry out their investigations.
This sight greeted one resident of the area who was traversing the bushy cart road at Marley Vale, St. Philip. He alerted police and other security officials who arrived after 6 p.m. 40-year-old Shawnee Maynard, a Bayfield St. Philip resident, was later identified by family members. Acting Assistant Superintendent of Police Victor Brewster says they're seeking the public's help with their investigations.
We would like to offer condolences to the family, and we would ask that anyone who have any information about the death of this male, which we believe occurred sometime today, can call us in the Southern Division at telephone numbers 416-8200, 418-2612, or call the police emergency number or the police hotline.
Several members of Maynard's family gathered in the area where their loved one was found last evening. They're hoping people will respond quickly to the police service's request for assistance with their probe into his death. Wendy Burke, CBC News.
The police are also investigating an early morning shooting that has left one man hospitalized. Reports are the man in his 40s visited his girlfriend in Husbands Heights, St. James, and upon exiting his vehicle was shot several times. According to the Barbados Police Service, the man sustained several injuries. He was, however, able to drive to the hospital for medical attention. A report was then made to the Central Police Station. That incident is said to have taken place around 10 minutes after 1 this morning. Employees of Bel Air Mini Mart St. Philip are still recovering after a daring daylight robbery yesterday. Owner Lisa Aline tells CBC News the courier had just arrived outside the establishment when an individual exited the vehicle and snatched the package from his hand.
Our courier was traveling from one of our locations to then our Bel Air St. Philip location, where it appears then that the robber was lying in wait in the distance, waiting for the arrival of the courier. Where then the vehicle was seen creeping up until it got alongside, and that's when he made his move and took the items from the courier, which included, cash, ID, driver's license, and so forth. The robber then, the courier, when he saw then that the person had a gun, he tried to duck behind the vehicle in order to gain some cover, because, you don't know, this person being so bold already, what they may do.
Ms. Aline says management has provided counseling for the courier and the staff, several of whom have experienced trauma in the past. She says she's thankful none of her employees was physically injured during the incident and is calling for an end to the recent spate of robberies taking place on the island.
I would love to see some control being placed there, especially with the use of the guns and so forth. Not sure what control can be put in place, but some change is needed.
Well, the police are investigating that incident, which has been circulating in video on social media. The United Kingdom remains Barbados' primary tourism source market. 70 years ago, British Airways and Barbados embarked on a journey, one that officials say is creating lasting friendships and unforgettable memories, and they intend to maintain this relationship straight to their centennial celebrations. Chief Operating Officer of the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated, Cheryl Carter, made this known as she delivered Minister of Tourism Ian Gooding-Edgell's speech at a press conference to mark the platinum anniversary.
2023's record UK arrivals of 243,857 visitors attest to the pivotal role played by this esteemed carrier in boosting our tourism sector. That 4% increase in 2022's visitor arrivals of 234,510 visitors is indicative of continued growth and post-pandemic recovery.
British Airways' inaugural flight to Barbados was on April the 1st, 1954, with the Concorde's maiden journey on November the 2nd, 1977 to transport Queen Elizabeth II. Now, as the organizations celebrate their platinum anniversary, they have hosted a slew of activities, introduced Mount Gay rum on board all BA flights, and hosted a reception at Ilaro Court for tourism executives of both countries, among others. Meanwhile, BA's Chief Commercial Officer, Colm Lacey, says they have been privileged to serve as a critical link between Barbados and the UK.
Looking ahead, our commitment to Barbados and the wider Caribbean remains as strong as ever. We are dedicated to providing our customers with a premium travel experience that surpasses expectations. We are investing $9 billion in transforming our airline over the next 3 years. So whether it's the luxurious comfort of our premium cabins, the delicious dining options curated by our world-class chefs, or the seamless connectivity offered by our state-of-the-art aircraft, we are committed to ensuring that every journey with British Airways is nothing short of extraordinary.
And with more flights expected for the summer, Mr. Lacey expects to see quite a number of people making bookings for the upcoming ICC T20 World Cup set for June. Workers at the Barbados National Oil Company are back on the job after their union reached an agreement with the company. The workers took industrial action protesting what they said were a number of outstanding issues. Deputy General Secretary and lead negotiator assigned to the BNOC, Dwayne Paul, says one of the main issues that will be addressed is the matter of outstanding back pay. He says the company has now agreed to make every effort to pay the staff by next payday.
Additionally, matters relating to some members of staff and their role in the company have been resolved, and the company is committed to making good on these confirmations by the 10th of next month. Additionally, matters relating to transport has also been resolved, and a plan has been put in place to address the issue of red circling within the corporation, as well as matters relating to outstanding job evaluations and some of the health and safety concerns that have been raised by staff. So all in all, the staff are very pleased with the outcome of today's meeting, and we look forward to repairing and strengthening the relationships between management and staff as we seek to work assiduously to have these resolutions put in place.
A retired trade unionist is making a plea for the public and private sectors to follow the guidelines of the Safety and Health at Work Act. Former Public Relations and Health and Safety Officer at the Barbados Workers Union, Orlando Gabby Scott, says the call is necessary at this time amid an increase in sick building complaints and the recent fatality in the construction industry. Addressing the issue at the opening of the BWU's Safety 360 Symposium, Mr. Scott said workplaces are also duty-bound to ensure their safety and health committees are functioning.
My experience has been that we have fallen down very badly in this regard. The Barbados Workers Union had a long struggle to get succeeding governments to enact the Safety and Health at Work Act, and subsequently to establish joint safety and health committees made up of management and workers' reps. And my question today is this: how many of these committees are functioning? Now, don't embarrass yourself, don't show your hands, but how many committees are functioning? Is your committee functioning? Don't embarrass yourself or your company. I know a lot of them are functioning. But even when COVID wasn't there, some of them weren't functioning. And they used to walk around making a lot of noise.
We'll take a break here, but coming up, the opposition leader outlines a new vision for the party. The Democratic Labour Party will no longer have a shadow cabinet, but rather research and policy teams to speak on national matters. Opposition leader Ralph Thorne made the announcement during his first official press conference at his new Hinks Street City offices. Describing the move as reshaping what previously existed, Mr. Thorne said he, along with the two opposition senators, Tricia Watson and Ryan Walters, will supervise the groups.
What we propose to do, we propose to divide all areas of government in between the three of us, myself and the two senators, and each of us will be a chairperson over those portfolios, and those portfolios will be extended to spokespersons across the party, candidates, potential candidates, persons of interest, supporters of the Democratic Labour Party, professionals, specialists in the areas.
Regarding the internal party struggles, Mr. Thorne says differences must be resolved.
There are councils in the party. There's the Executive Council, and there's the General Council. And the matter must be referred to those bodies within the party. I have reminded you that this party does not have a dictator as far as I know.
Education officials are seeking to implement more social workers across the school body to assist troubled children. So says Chief Education Officer Dr. Ramona Archer Bradshaw.
Over the past year, we've had programs that focus on building self-esteem, programs that focus on building relationships between parents and their children, as well as programs that address students with mental health issues or mental health problems. You must note that we have a significant number of social workers, safety officers, guidance counselors, and school counselors within the education system at present. Of course, we are seeking to have some more specialists with this new financial year that will assist in that regard.
Last term, it was reported that 5 girls went missing, with 2 yet to be located, and 1 boy was reported missing a week after the end of the last term. President of the Barbados Association of Principals of Public Secondary Schools, Stephen Jackman, says he would like to see the pace at which counsellors are implemented quickened. However, he says where there is information of a child at risk, the Child Care Board will be informed.
The schools will continue to do what they are mandated to do by law. Where we are sure or where we have information that a child is at risk, we will involve the Child Care Board, we will involve the authorities. We have seen the ministry beefing up a number of counsellors in schools, and we would like that pace to quicken. Because I am still in a situation where I have 1 counsellor for 1,100 students. That's not going to work. So while they are moving, they could be a little quicker because the problems that the children face are real to them. And people's perceptions become their reality.
The University of the West Indies CAFL campus and the Inter-American Court of Human Rights have signed a memorandum of understanding. It will generate improved capacity building, joint research opportunities, and other areas of mutual benefit. Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the CAFL campus, Professor Clive Landis, and President of the Court, Judge Nancy Hernandez Lopez, agreed to an initial 3-year period for the Framework Cooperation Agreement. Under the PAT, there will be yearly professional practicum programs for both staff and graduates of the CAFL campus and student internships with the court. Additionally, the court is offering a scholarship for 1 Caribbean person to undergo a 3-month legal training program. Well, Barbadians are encouraged to give back to communities and institutions that have played a pivotal role in shaping their lives. Such was exemplified by the alumni of the Coleridge and Paris School on the first day of this term. Joshua Hinkson reports.
Generosity knows no bounds. This adage now has greater meaning for the Coleridge and Paris School, as the graduating classes of the 1970s donated $20,000 to assist the school's athletics and educational programs. That donation was made during the school's first assembly for the school term. Leading member of the alumni group, Everton Brown, detailed the amount of each donation and their purposes.
The first donation is in the amount of $2,000. Will be in recognition of the current year's track and field program. The second donation is in the amount of $3,000. This donation is an act of recognition of the school's football programs. The third donation is in the amount of $10,000. The fourth donation is in the amount of $5,000. This donation is towards the sponsorship of the Counter Maths program for the entire student body.
That initiative was created by the Ministry of Education as an online platform whereby students can self-assess their arithmetic skills. A grateful Principal Sandra Goodridge expressed gratitude to the alumni for their quick response to the students' needs.
So I am totally surprised this morning and definitely excited to know that every student in this school, through that donation, will have access to Conquer Maths. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart, a really big thank you to this group.
Students who represented Barbados nationally were also presented with a special tie. Meanwhile, past student and Deputy Chairman of the CP School Board, Curtis Small, underscored the importance of giving back and remaining committed to the school.
I'm happy that, the 70 graduation classes have come together and see it fit that we can assist the school where necessary. We're in the process of building the brand of CP because after COVID there was some relaxation in that. So this is one of the initiatives, and I hope that many more of the past alumni would come on board and recognize that we are doing things for the benefit of the students.
Joshua Hinkson, CBC News.
Sports Night, brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
That's right. Time for the start of Sports Night. We're joined this evening by Damien Best. Damien, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you, Pearson. Good evening to all viewers and listeners. Well, regional heads of government, Cricket West Indies board members, regional administrators, legends of the game, and current players have all converged in Port of Spain, Trinidad for the CARICOM Regional Cricket Conference. The two-day symposium was opened this morning. CBC's Amory Burke reports.
The major stakeholders of regional cricket are all assembled in Trinidad and Tobago for the two-day CARICOM Regional Cricket Conference, jointly staged by the Trinidad and Tobago government and regional nation grouping CARICOM. Under the theme Reinvigorating West Indies Cricket, a symposium for strategic collaboration and innovation, among the key areas to be discussed are the strategic direction of West Indies cricket, finance and commercial considerations, and fan engagement. In his welcoming remarks, Chairman of the CARICOM Subcommittee on Cricket and Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, says now more than ever is the time to chart a serious course forward for the region's game, as it's too long that there has been a slump on the international stage.
If we are to make progress from this day forward, we have to have an appreciation that there's management of cricket, the game, and in today's multi-billion-dollar international industry, there's cricket, the business. And if you're going to manage business, manage the game, the first thing that comes to us is management of the resources. After we do an analysis, so there's something that goes on in business they call a SWOT analysis, where you analyze your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. And if we do that during this conference, what I will ask you to do is to be brief, to be engaged, and to be honest.
Also speaking at this morning's opening ceremony, Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Amor-Motley, in her address, says the mission should also be about collective action for development of the sport in the region and to maintain the existing legacy.
And we must now give our cricketers all that they need in terms of the ecosystem, from business to the physical infrastructure, to the mental support and coaching, to the life skills. We take people and we don't necessarily appreciate that if we don't invest in their personal development, we cannot invest then in the collective outcome of success.
President of Cricket West Indies, Dr. Kishore Shallow, says while there has been considerable progress within Cricket West Indies, it is essential to recognize that there is no quick fix to addressing the complex challenges facing the sport.
And I believe the symposium this morning is a starting point, of course, of accepting the challenges that we face, our shortfalls over the years, the countless suggestions made to us, including former heads of government, but certainly cricket administrators, that these suggestions that have fallen deaf over the years must now be accepted.
As part of the symposium, there will be a number of roundtable sessions, panel discussions, and presentations. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
With less than 100 days to go until the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, only one Barbadian athlete has so far qualified for the world's biggest sporting event. Two-time World Championship 400-meter bronze medalist and reigning Commonwealth Games record holder Shadi Williams is currently the lone competitor to reach the qualifying standards for the July 26th to August 11th Games. In an interview with CBC Sports, Vice President of the Barbados Olympic Association, Cammie Burke, remained optimistic that more Barbadians will qualify before the June 30th deadline.
our body has met the qualified time so far. That is Shade. Still waiting on to hear from about Matthew. Nothing clear as yet. Track and field season now starts, so the guys going to the world relays. So it's very sketchy at this time. So it's there's not much that we can say in a definitive way. Our biggest team for the Olympics was in 2008. Since then, we have carried less than 10 people to the games. All right? And I would expect that trend will continue. Last Olympics, we had 8 people, two disciplines, track and field and swimming. This year, there is the possibility of 4 disciplines, triathlon, 4 disciplines, triathlon, shooting, swimming, and track.
Burke also confirmed that boxers Jabali Brady, Charles Cox and Kimberly Gittins will travel to Thailand next month for their last Olympic qualifying event, while adding that Barbados could also gain a few wildcard spots.
The only groups that we expect a wildcard, we got to apply for the wildcard, is swimming and possibly shooting, female.
The Business Report, brought to you with the compliments of Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
In business tonight, a new spirit will be added to this year's Crop Over Festival. It will be part of a myriad of activities to be staged across the island, marking the 50th anniversary of the festival. Trevor Thorpe reports.
The limited edition product was launched at Foley's Bar Parshland Christchurch. And Minister of Home Affairs and Information Wilfred Abrams, who's also the parliamentary representative for the area, expressed his support for the initiative.
For all of you who came down, for all of you who are showing the faith, for all of you who came out, and for those of you who put it on, I want to congratulate you for bringing an international brand into our local communities and understanding that the partnership and the synergy knows no social boundaries. It's about people drinking what they like. And a lot of people in Barbados like Hennessy and drink Hennessy.
Regional Director of Hennessy, Paul Oriel, says it's a celebration of 7 decades of a partnership with Barbados.
Today is a very special day for me because not only that relationship has been going on for so long and is getting stronger and stronger, but most importantly, as the president of Hennessy would say, when is the last time that you did something for the first time? And tonight we are revealing the first limited edition dedicated to the Caribbean communities and to the Bajan consumer.
Brand manager at Brighton Stokes Limited for Hennessy, Rashid Wharton, says a touch of sophistication and flair is being added to the Crop Over Festival this year.
These offerings are a testament to our commitment to delivering unparalleled quality and luxury for our consumers. And last, but certainly not least, I'm delighted to announce the Hennessy Limited Edition bottle will be available across the island by May of 2024. These exquisite bottles encapsulate the spirit of Crop Over and serve as a timeless mementos of this extraordinary collaboration.
The product representatives say the new Hennessy Limited Edition serves as a symbol of unity, resilience and cultural pride and partnership between the two entities. Trevor Thorpe for the Business Report.
As Barbados joins other countries to celebrate Girls in ICT Day, there's a suggestion more women are needed in the field of information and technology. It has come from Minister of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology, Marcia Cadell.
Although women now fill 40% of high skill occupations globally, their participation in ICT-related fields continues to be low, including in the Caribbean region. Women are nearly absent from software development, engineering, and technology research. They also tend to leave science and technology jobs at higher rates than men. While there is a leadership gender gap in every industry, the largest gaps are found in the STEM fields. Women in ICT often find themselves in junior or support roles rather than in managerial roles.
Ms. Carroll says it is more than just a day to celebrate, but also a time to take stock.
The Ministry of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology is partnering with the Ministry of Education and the National Transformation Initiative to ensure gender equitable access to technology education, ensuring that men and boys and women and girls have equal access to the new jobs and other income earning opportunities in data and technology fields, like software development, data analytics, and others. On June 7th this year, MISS will host an event for local tech entrepreneurs, and we want all women who work in this field to show up and be counted. Follow Miss Barbados and look out for all our updates to learn more. Happy International Girls in ICT Day.
Well, that's our time tonight. Thank you for spending it with us. I'm Pearson Bowen for the crew. To all of you, good night. By God's will, we'll see you tomorrow.